If you're in a leadership position right now, let's be honest, artificial intelligence probably brings up two very different feelings, right? On one hand, there's excitement, but on the other, there's this quiet, nagging anxiety. And the thing is, this isn't really about technology. It's about our identity and the future of what it means to lead. Today, we're going to talk about how to turn that AI anxiety into your single biggest advantage. So let's just start with a really direct question for you, because in this new era, there really is no middle ground. Are you actively using this massive shift to grow, or are you kind of letting the uncertainty hold you back, maybe hiding behind it a little? Your answer is going to define the next decade of your career.
You know, the best way to think about AI isn't as just another piece of software. It's way more than that. It's a mirror, a giant mirror held up to you, your team, your whole company. And yeah, what it reflects back can be uncomfortable. But it's also incredibly revealing about where your real strengths and, frankly, your weaknesses lie as a leader.
So let's talk about that uncomfortable reflection. There's a real, but often totally unspoken anxiety bubbling up right now among even the most successful, high-performing people. It's this quiet tension you can feel in boardrooms and on team calls, and it all comes from what that mirror is starting to show us.
And this really gets to the absolute heart of it. For people who've built their careers on being capable and knowledgeable, this isn't a technical problem. It's an existential one. The fear isn't about learning a new program. No, it's the fear that all your hard-won experience, everything you've learned, could suddenly lose its value. It's the fear of becoming irrelevant.
And look, this is not some distant threat we're talking about. According to EY, right now, a whopping 71% of organizations are hitting the accelerator hard on generative AI. So the debate about if this is going to happen is completely over. The race to adapt is on, and that pressure, that's exactly what's fueling all this anxiety. Now this is one of the most powerful reframes you can possibly make. The real threat isn't that a machine is going to take your job as a leader. The real threat is that the machine will expose whether you were truly leading in the first place or if you were just managing information and holding on to status. So this leads us to a fundamental conflict that's playing out everywhere: your ego versus AI's output. And to really understand how to lead through this, we have to dig into the psychology, the real reason people are resisting. On one side, you have that old leadership model, right? It's all built on being the expert. My authority comes from what I know. But then you have AI. AI doesn't care about your job title. It has zero regard for your years of experience. It just produces output, and it does it incredibly fast. This just completely shatters that old ego-based model. So this brings us to the biggest, most important question a modern leader can possibly ask themselves. If just knowing things is no longer the currency of power because machines can access and process information way better than we can, then what is your unique, your irreplaceable value? What do you actually bring to the table that a machine can't? Answering that question, well, it requires a huge mindset shift. We have to stop seeing AI as a threat to our identity and start seeing it for what it really is: an incredible amplifier for our most human skills. It's time to find a new compass, a new direction.
So how do we actually navigate this? Well, our guide for this is Sohail Ahmed, who's a brilliant mindset expert and a LinkedIn top voice. His whole philosophy is built on this foundation of incredible personal resilience. He faced immense challenges in his own life and turned that experience into a mission to help other people lead with courage, especially through profound uncertainty. He calls his framework the confidence compass, and it's designed to do exactly what it sounds like, to help leaders manage their own self-esteem while navigating all these external pressures. It's a clear path forward for when it feels like the ground is shifting under your feet. The very first principle is so simple, but it's profound. You are still in charge. AI is not your replacement, it is your leverage. Think of it as a powerful tool that multiplies your innate human ability to think critically, to connect with people, and to lead with vision. Okay, so if AI is our force multiplier, what exactly is it multiplying? This next part breaks down those irreplaceable human skills that become exponentially more valuable in the age of AI. This is your new toolkit. This chart shows the perfect division of labor. Look, AI is brilliant at the what, the output, the data patterns, the logic. But leadership? That's about being responsible for the why and the how. You have to own the consequences, exercise wisdom, inspire people, and act with courage. AI literally cannot do any of that. A really practical way to apply all this is through something called the 4A lens. It's a super simple framework for using AI strategically. You use it to accelerate all of the routine tasks, to amplify your team's insights, to align everyone around a common goal, and to build awareness of patterns and blind spots you would have otherwise missed. And this all points back to your core human value, which really rests on 4 pillars. Empathy, not just seeing patterns, but truly feeling what your people are going through. Ethical judgment, knowing the right path, not just the fastest one. Creativity, to imagine something that doesn't exist yet. And strategic courage, to make that tough call and then bear the weight of it. All right, so we've covered the why and the what. Now let's get to the how. This is all about turning these ideas into real action so you can stop feeling anxious and start building a real, sustainable advantage. And here's some really good news. You don't need to become a data scientist or some kind of prompt engineer. True confidence in this era doesn't come from being technical. It comes from being disciplined. The discipline to think critically, to ask better questions, and to thoughtfully lead other human beings through this massive transition. Here's your leadership checklist. First, always question the output. Be the healthy skeptic in the room. Second, focus on fluency, not dependency. You want intelligent users, not just mindless button pushers. Third, and this is huge, lead the emotional journey and address the fear directly. And finally, use AI to clear away the noise so you can apply your human judgment where it actually matters. Just imagine saying this to your team, plainly, directly. It's a statement of absolute clarity and reassurance. It shows them you get it, you understand their fears, and your goal is to empower them, not replace them. This is what steady leadership sounds like in this new world. So we've gone through the fear, the psychology, and the practical frameworks. Let's look to the future, to the real leadership test of our time, and the incredible advantage that's just waiting there for you to claim it. This quote about Sohail Ahmed from a founder and CEO just perfectly captures the whole point. It reminds us that the most important work, the encouraging, the guiding, the inspiring, that stuff is and always will be deeply human. And this brings us to the ultimate principle for this new age. Let it sink in. Technology will scale intelligence. That's a given. It's happening. Your challenge and your greatest opportunity as a leader is to scale wisdom, to provide the context, the ethics, and the humanity that data alone can never, ever offer. And so we end right where we began, with a question for you. This change is here. The noise is only getting louder. In the middle of all the scrambling, can you be the one who brings clarity? Can you be the steady hand? Answering that question, that is the leadership test of this decade. Now, this conversation is just the start of a much longer journey. If this resonated with you and you want to keep developing your leadership, you can subscribe to the Confidence Compass newsletter for more insights like this. You can also follow Sohail Ahmed at @mentorsohail for daily transformational content. Or you could even invite him to come inspire your team at your next event. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.